Hello everyone. Today I'm here to discuss the latest verdict of the Supreme Court that affects
Hello everyone.
thousands
Today
of
I am here to
just
discuss the late.
the thousands of judiciary aspirants across this country. The Supreme Court has clarified that now there will be a requirement of minimum 3 years of practice before you even become eligible for the judicial services. Now, this affects all of us, all the aspirants. But what that really means and what steps can we take from here as aspirants to make the most out of our time and energy without losing our focus on the ultimate goal? That is the objective of this live session today. So, way back in 2002, the Supreme Court done away with the requirement of the minimum years of practice to be eligible to apply for judicial services examinations, and this was based on the philosophy of catch them young. The idea was to have the young judicial minds, have the young legal minds, and train them during their jobs, during the process. You are doing the job and simultaneously you are also getting trained. That is trained. That was the idea. But unfortunately, in the last 2 decades, this system has not worked as smoothly as everybody hoped. And the gaps in the knowledge, the theoretical knowledge and the practical experience, it was so apparent, it was so clear that it could not have been ignored any further. And this recent verdict, the verdict that has come today, it is more or less the response to the same gap between theoretical knowledge that we acquire through textbooks and the practical experience, the way you should conduct yourself inside the courtroom. So that was missing. Hence this verdict. Now, let's understand what is exactly held by the Supreme Court in this case. This much is clear to everybody that now 3 years practice is mandatory. But this rule will become applicable only to the subsequent notifications now. The notifications that were already out, right? They will be governed by the previous rules only. This rule is not applicable on those notifications. First and foremost, please be clear about it. Then there is a doubt regarding from which date the experience will be counted. The Supreme Court has clarified that the date of provisional enrollment will be the starting date. So it is not the date of full and final enrollment. The date of provisional enrollment will be counted. Your experience begins from that date, right? Then, in order to prove your eligibility, in order to prove that you satisfy this minimum years of practice requirement, you will have to submit a certificate uh, which will be signed by a lawyer who has at least 10 years of standing at the bar, and the same will be required to be endorsed by the principal judge of that area, and in case of Supreme Court and High Court, there will be a designated officer for the same. Now, one some kind of relief I would say is with respect to the law clerks. So law clerkship will be counted towards these 3 years of practice. The time duration that you were a law clerk or you are going to be a law clerk, that period will be counted, will be taken into account to determine whether your 3 years are complete or not, right? Then, before talking about the possible solutions, I would also like to talk about the reactions that this judgment has triggered. I have spoken to many aspirants personally. Some of them have actually welcomed this move. They felt that being a judicial officer requires some maturity, and that maturity, it does not come from reading the textbooks, it comes from the actual experience. So they have welcomed this move. Others have felt frustrated and disheartened, and they have put logical and fair questions. To my mind, those questions are fair. Like, they have asked that why this requirement is only with respect to the judges. What about the other professionals? What about the UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, the IAS officers, the IPS, IRS, and all that sort of things. Then there is a question that what about the corrections that require to be made in the legal system? Sorry, in the education system. That is where the actual problem lies. Then there is also an issue of training the judges. Why this gap was there when there were training programs of the selected candidates? Nobody is talking about those issues, and possibly those are the real issues, and that is why they are ignored. Some of them have raised these doubts. Then there are students who were planning to enroll themselves as LLM candidates, or who are, they are about to complete their LLM. This is the end of this must be the end of their semester, last semester. They are also confused, and they are also frustrated in the sense that now they are thinking that, are their efforts of pursuing LLM, are their efforts devalued now after this judgment, right? Then there are realists who are simply stating, now this is the rule, we will have to adapt accordingly. And the most powerful thing so far that I have read in this context on the social media is, I'll read it for you. Your black coat may wait 3 years, but your preparation should not. The bench is waiting, and so is your moment. And perhaps this is the kind of attitude that we must embrace at this point of time. This is the kind of attitude that all of us require at this difficult time, right? So, in the same spirit, now I would like to talk about some possible solutions. Number one is, for those of you who were targeting specific states and the notifications for those states were already out, you must go all in now. You must think that there will not be any more chances after this. For freshers, please think that you will not going to get any second chances at that examination. Go all in with full energy and full focus, with full heart and mind at one place, focus and clear. For those who are targeting the future judicial services examinations, who are waiting for future notifications, they must not wait now. The things are clear. You must start with your practice. How you are going to do it, that is your call. If you want to give it full 100% time, or 50% of your time and energy, that is your call. But if you are somebody who is passionate about joining the bench, who is passionate about the judicial services, who is passionate about serving as a judge, they must plan accordingly. You must fix some days in a week where you visit the courts, where you get that practical experience, where you get involved in the cases, and then rest of the days must be dedicated to the learning, must be dedicated to the practicing questions, to practicing essays, to practicing mains answer writing, right? You must not ignore that. Then this 3-year period must be utilized to build some good relationships with the seniors and also the court staff, because ultimately they will help you and make the process much easier for you in terms of satisfying this eligibility criteria, and also in terms of obtaining that certificate. that will prove your eligibility, right? So don't take these relationships lightly. Then you must take up some work during these 3 years. You must volunteer yourself for legal aid. You must volunteer yourself for drafting work, right? Learn those skills. Learn those skills and also utilize this time to understand as to how to conduct yourself inside the courtroom, as to how to remain calm. See the judge, how he or she remains calm even in difficult situations, because tough decisions will be taken by you in future. When you serve the bench, when you serve as a judge, you will be tested through tough times, you will be tested through tough situations. So understand that, learn that art. That is also an art. Then you must also see what is happening around. You must also be aware about the surroundings. Those things will help you in serving the bench in a better way once you qualify the exams, right? So these are the broad solutions that I wanted to talk to you about. I understand that you must be feeling very disheartened. You must be feeling very disturbed at this point of time. I completely get that. And trust me, when this news came in the morning, it um, somehow also affected me. So I was also disturbed till 3 or 4 this afternoon. So having said that, we must not lose our sight of our focus, our object. As I said, learn the art that is required. Ultimately, these skills will help you to serve as a better judge, right? And now there is no escape from it, right? I've talked about the opinions of many, and perhaps the realists are they seem to be the right on this one, right? So let's embrace these 3 years. Let's learn the skills. Let's let not there be any gap in our theoretical knowledge and practical experience, right? So this period of 3 years is also giving you an opportunity where you did not have what you did not have earlier. Now it permits you to go deeper in the legal concepts rather than being broad, right? I understand that the syllabus is very vast and the preparation has to be broad if you want to clear the exams rather than a deeper preparation. But now this time is permitting you to do the both, right? So use this time, utilize this time wisely. So that's all regarding today's session. And this judgment, I would also like to clarify that this judgment is not only about the judicial freshers and lower judiciary, if I may use that word. It is also about some structural reforms in the higher judiciary. That the court has also talked about how the promotions should happen, how the rules are to be amended now by the respective high courts and state governments. And now there is a quota enhancement as well. But all these things can only be discussed once I get the copy of the judgment. That is not with me right now, because then only we can analyze what is the overall effect of those things. But these things that we discussed, these are clear, and we must take steps accordingly. So that is all, and take good care of yourself and of the law. And in case you need any help, I am here for you, and we at LiveLaw Academy, all of us, the entire team is there for you. We'll be happy to guide you, and we'll be happy to figure out some personalized day-to-day schedules for you, right? Thank you and take care.